And if you guys would, please remove any earbuds or AirPods that you may have in your ear. So therefore, we're respecting all the performers today. You guys are allowed to have out your cell phones. You want to take pictures, you want to record. Just make sure that you use them in the appropriate manner. But the earbuds, we'll greatly appreciate it if you guys remove those at this time. All right. So good morning. I'll just try that again. Good morning. All right, so I am Keon Wortham, and I have the privilege of serving as assistant principal here at the amazing Sam Rayburn High School, and I would like to welcome you to our first ever Black History Month celebration. Black History Month honors the contributions of African Americans to the United States history. Black History Month began as Negro History Week, which was created in 1925 by Carter G. Woodson, a noted African historian, scholar, educator, and publisher. The celebration was expanded to a month in 1976. President Gerald R. Ford urged Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in the area of endeavor throughout our history. The month of February was chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. The purpose of our celebration today is to learn about African Americans and their culture and to honor the contributions they have made on American history. The people, events, the cultural contributions we honor today, help shape this great nation into what it is. Although we have shown monumental growth, we must continue to progress as a country. Today's performers have worked really hard and are super excited to share this moment with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy the celebration and show the performers a lot of love. Thank you.
Our first presentation is from the Rayburn Renegade Theater, presenting Stealing Freedom, which is one of the most romantic slave escapes in the history of African Americans striving to find freedom. William and Ellen Crash are slaves living in the Deep South. They undertake a clever but dangerous plan for Ellen to pose as a white man due to her light-skinned complexion, and to steal themselves and their freedom. Now we present Stealing Freedoms that stars Elijah Clark, Cedric Clark, and Bella Osborne.
They had been slaves all their lives. Ellen was a very light-skinned Black slave. She was given as a wedding gift to the owner's white daughter who lived in Macon, Georgia. Ellen grew up as a household servant and became a skilled seamstress. When she was 18, she met her future husband who worked in a cabinet shop. Although he was a slave, his owner let William keep a little of his pay. He also earned small tips from other odd jobs. William and Ellen decided to marry.
William, I love you deeply. But we must get out of this land before we have children. I don't want my children born as slaves and owned by my master. I won't have it.
My parents were sold to different places as I was growing up. I never saw them again, nor did they ever see each other again. My brothers and sisters were sold to different slave buyers. Right now, I have a better owner than most slaves do. But he can sell them tomorrow, and I can let the chainsaw work hundreds of miles away, and I can be forever separated from him. Our only hope is freedom, and I think I have a plan that work.
We have to escape. But Macon, Georgia is hundreds of miles from any northern state. We could get caught by bounty hunters or slave catchers before we reach the Ohio River and the free states north of it. We don't know the way, and we will be all alone against the road with no one there to help us. We never survive alone in the mountains, swamps, or wild regions like other slaves have done.
Normans hardly make it as far as south as we live. They're usually caught, whipped, attacked, branded, sold far to the south's corn farms, or even tortured to death.
What is your plan, William?
Take me north on the train as your slave.
What are you talking about?
I've been thinking this out very carefully for some time. I'm dark-skinned and nothing can disguise my looks. But you are very light-skinned and could almost pass for being white.
Maybe in the dark, but I'd quickly be discovered. White men would notice the difference. I don't look that much like a white woman. And even a white woman traveling with a slave will have trouble going where she wanted when we got close to the northern states.
True, but a white man with the slaves will hardly be noticed. You would have to cut your beautiful hair into a white man's style and wear some men's clothes. Your face is so soft and womanly, so we had to hide it somehow.
A toothache. Old man Carruthers had a bandage over his face for a month. It would hide most of my face. I can't read or write though, and travelers have to sign their name on a ship manifest and other documents. We aren't even allowed how to even learn how to write our own names. But I can talk like a white. I used to imitate all the white people when I was growing up.
You could have broken your arm or had some friends to carry around the slave. You could be expected right. And it'll also give you a good reason to have your slavery.
This may work. But when we start, William, I'm not turning back. I'd rather die like the dog that we brought back. We go together, all the way to freedom or death.
All the way, freedom or death. We'll sell ourselves and our freedom. The best time to leave is at Christmas. White folks are always distracted at that time of the year.
Ellen made a man's suit, and both slaves got Christmas passes from their families, allowing them to stay with the family for a few days. They traveled as William Johnson and his slave. By the time they were missed, they hoped to be safe in the north. They boarded the train just before Christmas and walked into danger almost immediately. As a slave, William had to ride in the baggage car. While sitting in the corner of the car, he saw his master searching every railroad car for him. His master had become suspicious and went checking to make sure he had run away on the train. Ellen had problems of her own. A white man she had known for years sat down next to her in the passenger compartment. Where are you traveling, sir, at this time of year? You don't look well.
I'm traveling to Virginia to meet relatives. I've never been there. I have a terrible toothache. I had it for weeks. I fell, cut my arm, and hit my jaw. I haven't felt right since.
I know a good doctor at her next stop. Perhaps you should stop and see him.
I think not. I'll go see my family's doctor in Virginia when I get there. I'm gonna just rest now.
Suit yourself. They left the train and boarded a steamboat bound for Charleston, South Carolina. Ellen let William eat the scraps off her plate. He was feeding her because her arm was supposed to be badly injured. William was required to sleep on the deck without food or water, as there was no other place for slaves. You're spoiling that slave, you know. You treat him like he's a favorite child or pet. These blacks need to be kept in their place.
William's been in my family a long time. I need him.
That's all well and good, but you're letting that slave eat the scraps off your plate. That's disgusting. Slaves need to be whipped good and often, and I'd be glad to give him a good thrashing right now if you'd like. It would teach him a lesson.
I can handle my own business and my own slaves without any interference from you. Thank you.
You're making a big mistake. Take my word for it. Next thing you know, he'll be running away to the north. Tell you what, I'll give you 1,000 for that slave right now. I could use one his size to help with the horses, and you won't have to worry about him escaping. I'll teach him some.
No. William's been in my family a long time. He's trusted and I need him.
Pity, you're making a big mistake.
I don't think so.
In Charleston, Ellen was challenged by a tough court official who disliked the idea of letting slaves travel north. Ellen lets her anger work for her. Sir, you can't take that slave with you, and you don't want to. You're heading into free states, and that slave is likely to just up and run away.
William's been in my family a long time. I need him.
I can't let you take him. There are too many runaway slaves in the north, and you haven't signed the manifest.
I can't sign. My arm is broke. I paid for our passage. We're boarding the ship. I'm a Southern gentleman. I have virgin visits to Washington, and I will not have my business interfered with. Now get us on that ship.
All right, sir. I'll let you board, but mind my words. That slave will be up north and free in a week. They sailed by steamboat to Wilmington, North Carolina, and rode trains to Richmond and Fredericksburg, Virginia. They sailed by steamboat to Washington, D.C., and rode a train to Baltimore, Maryland, where they switched trains for their trip to Philadelphia. Here they were, stopped by a determined railroad agent. Mister, you can't take that slave with you to Philadelphia. It's a hiding place for fugitive slaves, and he'll set foot in the city, or some radical abolitionist will turn his head to radical ideas. He can't go.
I'm ill and I need William's help. He's always been very loyal.
You can't trust any slave. Dog, we're on our first chance. I'm not allowing you to travel on the train.
I come from one of the most best families in Georgia. I paid for my ticket. William will ride in the badge car as usual. We're getting on this train, or I'll contact higher authority.
Okay, but you've been warned. You better keep a chain on that fellow, or he'll be free in no time. She got away with it. William and Ellen arrived in Philadelphia, where they contacted William Still, a famous station master of the Underground Railroad. He had them for a few weeks and sent them on the way to Boston, but their masters found out where they were, had them followed. 2 years later, William and Ellen started their journey. They sailed to England, where they remained until the end of the Civil War.
Was a central figure of the Harlem Renaissance, a period of time from 1920s to the 1930s that was categorized by an explosive of literary and artistic expression of Black people. Hughes' literary work portrayed the joys and hardships of working class Black lives, avoiding both sentimental idolization and negative stereotypes. He hoped for a world in which people could sanely understand and live together. He influenced a wide variety of people, including Martin Luther King Jr. Langston Hughes' work and influence has made him immortal and an important figure of Black history. Please welcome Syra Guillermo to perform Harlem, a poem written by Langston Hughes.
What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like a rotten meat, or crusted sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? Thank you.
Harry Thomas said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer." Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. The Texans Dance Office will be forming a dance routine to celebrate the strength, patience, and passion to portray throughout their lives. Now, my fellow brothers and sisters, come show us love for the Texans.
Broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. You can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out. Ooh, mountains.
We have a history of this, a history with this, a history of rising in the face of crisis, surviving in the heart and soul of struggle.
And I rise like the day, I rise unafraid, I rise up, and I do it 1,008 times again.
Sometimes life requires you to take a stand. 60 years ago, Rosa Parks took a stand by taking a seat. She began a movement that propelled change. The power of the news has transcended to hashtags. because Black lives do matter. These moments force us, yes us, to look deeper inside of ourselves, only to discover purpose, of sitting down in silent protest to be heard, in raising our hands the way we used to raise our fists to be understood. The I am a man signs replaced by I can't breathe t-shirts. So don't ask why Missouri football decided to stand up against authority. Don't question James Blake's right to stand up against racial profiling. Don't dismiss Misty Copeland's stand against prejudice, or the NBA's stand against gun violence. Our struggle does not stop, it simply continues. Black history does not repeat itself, it evolves. Rise with a sense of being. Rise with a sense of purpose. Rise up like the dead. Why continue to sit when you were born to rise?
And we'll rise up, like the waves, we'll rise up, in spite of the ache, we'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
Nikki Giovanni is an award-winning poet, author, and civil rights activist. Her work was urgently revolutionary and saturated in deliberate interpretation of experience through Black consciousness. Giovanni has taught at various universities, including Virginia Tech, where she delivered a convocation speech following the tragic shooting in '07. Ms. Giovanni established Cincinnati's first Black Arts Festival, and in her 70s, continues to impact our society to this very day. Please welcome Gustavo Amazon to perform The Law of Motion, a poem written by the late and great Langston Hughes.
The laws of science teach us a pound of gold weighs as much as a pound of flour. Though if dropped from any undetermined height in their natural state, one would reach bottom and one would fly away. Laws of motion tell us an inert object is more difficult to propel than an object heading in the wrong direction is to turn around. Motion being energy, inertia, apathy. Apathy equals hostility. Hostility, violence. Violence, being energy, is its own virtue. Laws of motion teach us. Black people are no less confused of our blackness than we are disfused. Because of our powerlessness, man, we are told, is the only animal that smiles with his lips. The eyes, however, are the mirror of the soul. The problem is not what we feel, but what we wish we felt. When we begin to feel, we should feel something. Just as publicity is not production, seduction is not seductive. If I could make a wish, I'd wish for all of the knowledge in the world. Black may be beautiful, Professor Mashru says, but knowledge is power. Any desirable object is bought and sold. Any neglected object declines in value. It is against man's nature to be in either category. If white defines black and good defines evil, then men define women, or women, scientifically speaking, describing men. If sweet is the opposite of sour and heat the absence of cold, then love is the contradiction of pain, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Sometimes, I want to touch you and be touched in return. But you think I'm grabbing, and I think you're shirking. And Mama always said to look out for men like you. So I go to the streets with my lips painted red, my eyes carefully shielded to seduce the world, my reluctant lover. And you go to your men, slapping fives, feeling good, posing as men, because you know as long as you sit very, very still, the laws of motion will be in effect.
Mr. Dexter Lockett is a talented vocalist, and he currently serves as the area manager for the ACE grant for the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Houston. Today, Mr. Lockett is sharing his voice with us with Glory, a song written for the movie Selma, which tells the story of the 1965 civil rights marches from Selma, Alabama, to the state capital of Montgomery. These marches were organized as a nonviolent protest against segregation and unfair voting practices, but turned violent when marches were attacked along the journey. The marches were critical in bringing attention to broader racial injustices across the country and helped shape the rights and freedom of all Americans enjoy today. Please make some noise for Mr. Dexter Lockett.
One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours, it'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, yeah, Lord. Now one day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours, it'll be ours. Oh, one day,
special treatment. All right, so before we begin, I'd like to take an 8-second moment of silence for Kobe and Gigi, Brian, and the others who lost their lives in the helicopter crash. So. Thank you. All right. All right. Maya Angelou was a prolific and widely read poet, singer, memoirist, and civil rights activist. She was the first Black female director, and her work spans over 50 years. She grew up during segregation and used her work to empower and give the voice to African American community. Her memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sing, changed the literary world for the open doors for the African American authors and women. Maya Angelou fought for what she believed in through her work and never stopped fighting for equality. Please make some noise for Miss R performing Still I Rise by Maya Angelou.
If I don't use the mic, can y'all hear me? You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bow my head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Do you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I'll rise. Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I got diamonds between my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of a slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
All right, so the bell is going to ring in a few seconds. So any teachers, if you have a 6th period class, you are dismissed at this time. Everyone else, all students, please remain seated. So all students, if you are in here, you will be excused for 6th period.
Go ahead and have everybody seated, so if y'all can just quiet down, we're going to do the next introduction. All right, get ready.
All right, guys, so listen. We've made you guys smile. We've made you guys cry. And so now we're about to just turn it up a little bit. So you should be glad that you stayed. to finish this experience with us. PV. PV. So last but certainly not least, I would like to welcome some special guests who came all the way from Prairie View A&M University to experience this special day with us. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Omega Psi Phi.
Mic check. Mic check. How y'all doing? My name is Albert Hopkins Jr. I'm a graduating senior from Prairie View A&M University. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to introduce themselves and what they do on campus and the things that they might do.
Hey y'all, my name is Artavia Hall. I'm a junior at Prairie View. I founded a modeling organization on campus, and I'm also a part of CAB, PV Go Green, Gold Members Club, and a lot more. And I'm a mass communications major.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Clarence Williams. I am a psychology major with an African American Studies minor. I am graduating in December, but I am a senior. I'm a part of the Campus Activities Board, and I serve as an intern as a student counseling center.
Good afternoon. My name is Desmond Sheaf. I am a graduate of Prairie View, the Prairie View A&M University. I got my Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice with a minor in African American Studies. I am pursuing a master's degree in Public Administration at Texas Southern University. However, when I was at Prairie View, I was the president of the Criminal Justice Club for 2 years in a row. I was the senator of my college, which was Juvenile Justice and Psychology and Student Government Association. I was the Finance and Appropriations Chair for Student Government Association. I was a mentor in the male men achieving leadership and excellence. And I was, one thing you would know about all of us is that we all about service, because that's what Prairie View instilled in us.
Good afternoon, students. My name is Darian White, and I am a former student of Prairie View University. I say former because right now I currently work for myself and I own 3 companies and used to get us food. So I wanted to say that because I know a lot of your parents a lot of my parents like to force us to make us feel like we just have to get the degree, but I want to be a living testament that you don't necessarily, if you don't have your degree, you can still be successful in life and you can still make stuff happen for yourself. Because I live every week not working for somebody else, and I work for myself and I make my own money and I work for me. When I was on campus, I participated in Campus Activities Board, Panther Advisory Leaders, which helps the freshmen. I DJ'd on campus. I'm still a DJ right now. And started a couple organizations, but Prairie View is just an awesome place, man.
Hello everyone, my name is Nakaya Gowdy. I am a psychology major. I am a senior, not graduating yet, but coming soon. I am a part of the House of Vision Modeling organization. I'm also a part of Criminal Justice Club. And yeah, that's about it about me.
How y'all doing? I hope y'all having a great day so far. My name is Dorian McCray. I'm a recent graduate of Prairie View. I'm getting my Master's of Business Administration right now at Prairie View again. In my undergrad, I was in a lot of organizations, Golden Club, National Society of Collegiate Scholars, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. The list goes on, but we're gonna talk about organizations in a minute.
All together, we came to visit you guys to let you know that we are all successful. We was all in y'all same shoes. We all wondered, will we be able to go to college? Will we get there? And we all took a chance. College is more not necessarily about if you're smart, if you have high grades, anything of that nature. It's more based off, do you want to try? When you get that degree, you're basically teaching somebody that you have the patience and the level, the understanding to try to understand that you may not know everything, but you're willing to go in and learn. All these people on this stage, they are amazing learners. They do everything and anything that they possibly need to do to get to the next level. So any questions, any things that you may have, you can always pull us to the side. We're gonna drop our Instagram, phone numbers, all that stuff. So y'all that got questions, all that stuff.
Another thing is, I kind of compare my college experience to high school, because I felt like high school is what you make it, right? So it was like, high school is basically what you make it. You know, you be a part of the organizations, you know, you participate and you're gonna have fun, right? So when you get to college, be a part of the organizations, participate, you know, get involved on campus. You're gonna have fun. You just have to get involved.
I can say that a lot of you may come from families that no one went to college before, or you're thinking about going to college and you may not have the guidance or you may not have the leadership around you to motivate you to go to college. However, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm the first person in my family to graduate from a 4-year institution, and I turned over here. So it can definitely happen for you. If you feel like, oh, my mom didn't go to college, my dad didn't go to college, grandma, grandpa, none of them went to college, you can still do it. Like he said, college is just a stepping stone in your life that shows people that I can start something and I can finish it. That's the thing, starting something and finishing it. You're in high school right now, take advantage of your SAT, ACT, prep yourself for those courses. You want to make sure that you're looking into colleges, hopefully Prairie View, you know. However, I motivate anybody to go to Prairie View, but I motivate anybody to become better and further their education, because knowledge is definitely power. So you want to make sure that you're applying, you're looking up these colleges and universities, their requirements. Each college have requirements. I'm pretty sure you can talk to your school counselors about Apply Texas, and all those different things to get yourself prepped up and ready to go to college. We just chose the best college to go to.
And then I know you hear us mention organizations a lot. Some are, stuff for hosting events. Some is for keeping the world green. Everything like you hear us mention organizations, but please make no mistake, you're there to get an education first. Everyone here on this line, regardless of what organization they did, or 2 or 3, they were in the books first their freshman year. They came there, they stayed, to class, to the library. It's all about time management when you get to college, because it's not like a typical everyday we get to school at. What time do y'all get to school in the morning? You're being shy, I can't hear you. 7:13, 7:30. It's not a 7:30 every day and we get home at 2 or 3. Some people, they only have a 9 a.m., a 10 a.m., and 11 a.m., and the rest of their day is free. Now, what you do with the rest of your day is up to you, but keep in mind that those classes have assignments. They won't write on the board and say, hey y'all, we have an exam next week. They won't write it on the board. You gotta keep up with that yourself. You have to keep up with all your projects, your papers, everything like that. So it's all about time management. Start working on it now, because when you get to college, your mom, your dad, or whoever, they will not be knocking on your door, tapping you on your shoulder, making sure you get your stuff done. It's all completely up to you.
So y'all can go ahead and go ahead and give them a round of applause. Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody. 27 years ago, I had the honor and privilege of hosting the first Black History program at V.W. Miller Intermediate. Miss Jones was my 8th grade reading teacher, and it was something that spoke to her, and she was gracious enough to include all of us. And what she taught me was that Black history is American history, and it belongs to all of us as Americans. And so that has always stuck with me. And as a principal, it's always been important to me to share this experience with our students. And so I want to thank all of our guests who helped us today, our speakers, our performers, and our teachers who helped make this happen. Mr. Wortham, and thank you so much. Can y'all give everybody a big round of applause? So I want to thank y'all for being a part of today. Mr. Wortham is going to come up and give our closing remarks.
All right, guys. As you leave today, please remember that Black History Month is a time for us to celebrate the achievements of Black Americans in their vital role in U.S. history. Although not only must we remember and celebrate the achievements made in the past, we must also bring light to the changes happening in the present. Therefore, we must continue having conversations and learn about African Americans and their history and culture. Thank you to all the performers and student readers for the hard work you put into making today possible. I also would like to thank all of you for joining us today for this Black History Month celebration. I hope all you guys enjoyed the performance and had a great time. This concludes this presentation. Thank you all, and have a great day. We have some shirts that are going to